All right, welcome back. This is Cult of Elections, and yesterday's grand comeback was marked by a reaction video, which is something I've never done before on any of my YouTube ventures. Reacted to myself in my 2022 Senate prediction, and I figured what better way to get back in the swing of things by making another way too early prediction, this time for 2024 Senate. So this map, doesn't have all the Senate seats, so you won't know the grand total. Just know my current prediction right now is that Raphael Warnock will win the runoff election due to a few reasons. The first being there's a large rift in the Republican Party right now. Second being that he got more votes than Walker. And third being the last time this happened, a runoff proved to be beneficial for Democrats. So, yes. So, I'll tell you the numbers pretty much. So that would leave 49 Republicans to 51 Democrats. Just as a baseline level. So, what are we looking at here? We're, as per usual, going to start with safe Democrat seats. Got a lot of old school people in here. Some people that need to get around to retiring. Being careful which ones I choose. Okay, so Rhode Island, yes. Connecticut, in a presidential year, yes, I would consider that safe. New Jersey, I would consider safe too. Maryland as well. Vermont, Sanders is an independent. Caucuses of the Democrats, so I'll consider it Democrat. Same thing with Angus King in Maine. We just know that's going to happen if Angus King chooses to run again. Yes, Washington has an incumbent in there since 2001. While I think Washington has shifted to the right ever so slightly, I think it would be safe considering that. So that leaves us with a lot of openness. Oh, hold on. Sorry, I forgot to mention Elizabeth Warren, should she choose to run, that's safe. And New York, in a presidential year, I would consider that safe. New York perhaps could be doing some shifting. Who knows? But presidential year, I'll play the safe route. I'll consider it safe. But it could go in the likely column. So, one weird one I left out in New England is it's actually Delaware. I'm gonna put that in the likely column. I'm gonna make some bold predictions here. Because why not? What's the fun of making a super safe prediction? Delaware. So, yes, in the 2022 House results, and actually, let me get those numbers for you, so I'm not just talking out of my butt. Delaware. Yes. Delaware was only a 12-point race in, this country. Largely, it was a purple wave, and the red wave was consolidated to little parts of the country. So, I'll put Delaware into the likely column. And of course, likely being up to 14.9 points, of course. So, yeah. There we go. There's that. Of course, safe Republican seats. We'll swing them around, Utah, weird one. You never know what's going on there. But I'll just consider that safe. Missouri's a weird one too. Oh, it's Josh Hawley. So I'll consider that one safe as well. Indiana. Yes, Mike Braun. Marsha Blackburn, of course. It's, you know, these kinds of things. Sorry, I'm going slow here. There's a few weird states. Okay. So, this leaves us no swings yet. Strange, I know. Or is that strange? What am I saying? Alright, so yes, Tim Kaine in Virginia in the likely column. I know Virginia swung to Glenn Youngkin just in 2021. However, it's Tim Kaine we're talking about. So, I think there's a good chance he wins if Debbie Stabenow chooses to run. Michigan, I mean, we saw what happened in the Tudor-Dixon-Gretchen Whitmer race this year in 2022. I think it would remain in the likely column for Stabenow should she choose to run again. Minnesota, same way, Amy Klobuchar. You know, you got some big names here for Democrats, for sure. For sure, running again. You know, let's look at some likely Republican seats. And this might be the only one I might characterize that way. Florida. I know Florida has kind of shifted hard to the right, and it is no signs of slowing down. And Marco Rubio and Ron DeSantis won the state by safe margins in 2022. But this is Rick Scott we're talking about. I don't think he'll have that much power in effect should he choose to run again. But yeah, I still think it would be in the likely column there. So, got a host of interesting states. Very interesting states. I will throw Pennsylvania into the likely column for Bob Casey. He's been in Congress for a decent amount of time now. And largely, you know, this is a terrible map for Democrats, as you know. But it could be saved by their incumbents. But will it be enough? We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what my predictions are. Probably the biggest standout one that you might be shocked that I haven't called right now is New Mexico. I think New Mexico is surprisingly not as blue as some people think, especially in Senate or gubernatorial races. What a fun word. So I'm going to put New Mexico in the lean column. And like I said, I'm making some bold predictions here. Why not? Ron Chetty did a good performance against incumbent governor, who's a Democrat in New Mexico. So this is just a 2-year out thing. We'll see how that goes. So here we go. We are going to go with Texas next. And I don't think this is the year. In many of my other predictions, I said Texas was a state that was going to go red at least one more time around for presidential years. I think the Greg Abbott race versus Beto O'Rourke kind of, I don't know, it rejuvenized my thinking in that way. And I think Beto in a blue wave year ran Texas as much as he possibly could. He got probably just about every vote he could out of Texas in a blue wave year and still wasn't able to do it against an incumbent that's not very well liked. Now, if Beto runs again, perhaps this would be a tilt margin, but I mean, Beto, a 3 times failed candidate. I'm not sure what his big plans are, but we'll see what happens. But this is just generic in my head. No Beto. means lean red Texas. So still no flips. We're going to swing over to Wisconsin. And Wisconsin is a very purple state. I consider it, but considering Tammy Baldwin's been in there for a while, I think it will be lean Democrat. Even if the Republican wins the state, they'd have to carry it by a pretty good margin, I think, to carry whoever would be facing against her over the top. So, yes. And here we go. We are going to go with Arizona next, and Arizona has been swinging, and I think that swing is probably going to continue. And it may even continue on the presidential side too. Arizona, with actually one of the most centrist Democrats in the Senate, Sinema. She gets a lot of hate. Maybe there might be a primary challenge, but I think that would be dumb for them. She's just been kind of down the middle. And there we go. So no flips, none yet. And that's going to continue with Jackie Rosen in Nevada, except I'm going to throw out and I told you guys in this last video that I think tilt is overused. I think Nevada has been shifting a lot. I think Nevada could easily go to the Republicans in 2024, depending on who they put up. However, again, incumbent, and Nevada being so weird as it is. And of course, it was tilt this time around in 2022. I think that would be tilt Democrat. So here we go. We have 3 states with incumbent Democrats. And we are going to start with perhaps the least interesting of the bunch. And I think it being in a presidential year, and this is a bold prediction, I think Sherrod Brown would end up losing this race. I think it'll have a lot of attention, and even if, Trump is on the top line of the 2024 ticket, I mean, he carried Ohio by 8 points, if I'm not mistaken, in 2020. And I feel like that would be a huge, huge thing to get around in Ohio. I don't think it would be 4 or 5 points. It may even be 1-2 points, but there you go. There's a flip. So that would bring a Senate map to 50-50. And ultimately, I think Montana would swing the same way in a lean margin. I think the presidential year just may screw these Democrats out of their seats. John Tester being one of them, as long as a good candidate is put up in Montana. And then finally, West Virginia, I think, would be the same way. So, yes, that would put Republicans at 52 Senate seats. And yes, this map is very difficult for Democrats. Very, very, very difficult. Because if you look at this, what is their offensive game here? Take, Montana, Ohio, West Virginia. So that leaves 49. The chances of them winning any seat are quite slim. And the only one, in my opinion, that they have any remote chance of winning is Texas. They're not going to win Florida. It's just not going to happen. And Texas would take something quite insane. So Democrats playing offense this Senate election, probably not going to happen. But they probably need to save their money into races like, where they have vulnerable incumbents. Nevada, Ohio, West Virginia, Montana, Wisconsin. And, even some of these I put in the likely margin. They could be even more vulnerable depending on if Republicans put a good candidate for the 2024 race for president, or even in these specific Senate races. I mean, we could have retirings. Some of these people are a bit older. We don't know that yet. But until then, can't wait to react to this video and kind of laugh at myself. I thought my old one was pretty decent, but yeah, here we go. There you go. 52 Republicans to 48 Democrats is my final guess. Hope you guys take care, and peace.